Let's talk about innovation. I want to thank Reena Agarwal of Microsoft for breaking down the concept of innovation so elegantly at Northwest Regional Women in Computing and inspiring me to think more about the subject and discuss it. Whether you're an engineer, an artist, or a teacher, it seems like there's this constant pressure to be an innovator. The concept of innovation is really lofty to the point where it can be downright intimidating. No big deal, you just have to change the world. I remember when I was looking at graduate schools, I went out to visit Duke and I met with a lot of the graduate students in the program there, and they were talking all about their research and their innovations. And all I could think about was how I could never be as creative as they were, and I just didn't see any way that I would ever be able to innovate on that level. What I realized later in my career is that most innovations are actually the sum of incremental changes. Maybe one day you wake up and you think of a great idea that is a minor tweak that would make your product a lot better. And the next day you do the same thing, and after doing this 5, 10, 20 times, you have all these incremental changes that add up to a pretty significant innovation. I think it's also important to understand that there are a lot of different types of innovators. There was a great article published a couple years back on Forbes.com about the different personality types of innovators. When most of us think about innovators, we picture someone like Steve Jobs, who's a mover and a shaker. Movers and shakers tend to be visionary leaders, they like to be in the front, and they're really driven to create a legacy. They tend to be the most publicly visible in tech, but there are other types of innovators who are just as effective. Experimenters are the perfectionist workaholics who love to build things. They're extremely persistent and passionate about their work. The star pupil innovators are the kids you remember from school who always sat right up in front and whose hand shot up before the teacher was even finished forming the question. They're smart, eager, hard workers who are good at a lot of different things. The controllers thrive on structure and rules. Controllers are great at focusing on really concrete, clear-cut objectives. When your team runs into a difficult problem, they're the people who are determined to find a solution. The final type of innovators are the hangers-on, who are similar to the controllers in the respect that they like structure and dislike risk. While the other types of innovators may envision a castle in the sky, these are the people who spark action by proposing a detailed plan for a house on Earth. They're incredibly important in the innovation ecosystem because they help create the plans that bring innovations to life. Bottom line, you don't have to be a mover and shaker like Steve Jobs to be a great innovator. I think a lot of people actually exhibit traits from multiple types. I think personally I'm a mix of the experimenter and the star pupil, and that's worked great for me. All the different types of innovators play a really crucial role in making the world a better place. Don't let the weight of the ideal of innovation crush you with fear, or the pressure to be a mover and shaker like Steve Jobs intimidate you. You may not think of yourself as an innovator, but if you're a problem solver who works to make the products that you work on a little bit better day by day, you are an innovator. Now get out there and kick some butt.